Welcome. I'm Manolito. This is Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Coffee. And today, it's The Crowded Barrel and Eleanor, Chapter 5. And here is Eleanor, Chapter 5 by the Crowded Barrel Whiskey Company. I purchased it day before my birthday, November the 9th. Went to Fang and Feather tasting room, picked it up. There's some more information there. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Just wanted to give you guys a nice close-up of the bottle, what you would see. This is bourbon. As you can see right here, it is aged 37 months. It's a pretty dark, beautiful color. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I've already poured me a glass. I used my magnificent bastard Glencairn. Keeping this all about the tribe. Got my coin here that I'm also using as topper for the Glencairn. So basically what I do when I'm drinking whiskey, and this is not anything that I've read about or whatever, what I like to do is I'll leave the cup, the Glencairn glass, uncovered for about 10 or 15 minutes before I even get into it. Kind of let it open up, and then I will put a topper on it, and it'll either be one of these or one of the other coins that I have in my collection. And then after that, I start getting into, nosing it, sipping on it, and so on, trying to get to know the whiskey. When I went to the Fang and Feather to pick up this bottle, I was able to taste chapters 1, 2, and 3. It was 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, of Eleanor. And I've been to other distilleries here in Texas. I still have a bunch more that I'm trying to go see. What I've noticed for myself is that when I'm at the distillery, I'm not really getting the nose and the taste while I'm there. I think it's maybe just because, I'm just excited to be there, having a good time. I'm not really into it. So I usually get a flight like I did there, and I'll drink it, and, it was okay. But I wanted to buy a bottle. They had Chapter 3 and Chapter 5. I wish I would have got both, but I just got the Chapter 5. And about Eleanor is basically there's a story for each bottle. So Chapter 1 has the first chapter of the story of Eleanor. It's under 100 words, I think, is what they're striving for. Just something quick, a quick read. And then on every version of the bottles, they have that story. You can also go to the website, read the whole story, look at each chapter, and each chapter has a date that's associated with it. So, for example, Chapter 1 is 1856, Chapter 2 is 1858, and then Chapter 3, 1860, and then 1862, and then, of course, Chapter 5 is 1864. So it's like every 2 years there's a little passage or a little story about Eleanor. So it is a bourbon. What I really like about Crowded Barrel is that, and if you watch the Whiskey Tribe or the Whiskey Biscuits channel, you'll see from there they're really open about the information about their bourbon and their upcoming stuff, which I'm really excited and can't wait till they start putting out that. So what you got here is 57.5 ABV, which is 115 proof. It's single cask. Comes they do source from MGP. They do even put the mash bill: 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% barley, which for me is not super important. I'm not that deep into the whiskey game, I guess. I'm just trying to find and enjoy whiskeys. What the mash bills are is not super important to me, or long histories of the distilleries, that type of thing. The entry proof was 120, and then it's aged for 39 months. So I like the fact that they put all their information out there. So for those of you that are like really geeky into the whiskey, you can go onto their website and find out a bunch of information. All right, so enough about that. I've been, as you can see from the bottle, I've been sipping on this. I really like it. I wish I could get the others, but I think 1, 2, and 3 they were out, or 1, 2, and 4 they were out. On their website they have 5, and then at the Fang and Feather they had 3 available. Well, at least when I went, they're probably sold out now. But anyway, let's get into this one. So color is really nice. It's a nice caramel, whatever you want to call it, type color. Pretty viscous as well. Sticks to the glass. Normally when I'm sipping on whiskey, I don't add water even on the higher ABVs. I've come to really like the higher ABV whiskeys. But for this video, I'll be putting some water after I take a few sips of it, nose it a little bit, just to see what it does to the whiskey. So let's get into it. All right, so it smells really nice. There is a sweetness to it, but it's not super sweet. You're not smelling like sticking your nose into a candy apple or anything like that. There is some caramel, a little bit of brown sugar, and then kind of a dustiness, I guess. I guess that's that dusty corn that I hear people talk about. But it's really good, and the ABV is not, even though it's 57.5, you're not getting that on the nose. Like, I'm taking pretty good breaths of this, and it's not burning my nose. I've had some whiskeys that the ABVs are, 55, 56, 60, 62, and you take a whiff of that, and you really have to step away from that for a minute and let your nose recover from that. This is really nice. If you're ever in the Austin area, that's where the Crowded Barrel and the Fang and Feather is at. If you're ever in the Austin area, look it up. Go check out the tasting room. Even if you don't buy a bottle of it, go just get you a flight or whatever. This is really good. All right, let's taste this. Okay, so I really like that. It is the ABV comes out when you taste it, but I like that feeling. Just, it warms you. It's a little I get a little tingly on the nose, on my tongue, especially in the back of my tongue. Almost like it kind of reminds me of like peppermint. It's not a peppermint flavor, but just kind of like if you're eating like a cinnamon gum, like the Red Hots, those types of things. So yeah, I guess not peppermint, it'd be more cinnamon, like the not cinnamon spice, but like the cinnamon candy. It doesn't taste like it; it just gives you that feeling. And of course, I get a little bit of caramel. Not very sweet, which is good, but I don't mind sweetness. I don't mind if it's a super sweet bourbon or if it's a real peaty Scotch. Whatever the case is, I'm pretty wide open in my taste for whiskey. Got a little burn in the nose, but man, this is delicious. I just love the way it sticks to the glass. It's a little cold in here, that's why the glass is kind of fogging up. But it's got a, I'm not going to say a super long finish, but it's not short. It's nice, it's kind of a medium to long finish, so it stays with you. Every time you swallow, you still get some more of that flavor going back in there. This is delicious. If you can find some, get some. I don't think there's going to be a lot of it around for long, and so I really can't wait until they start putting out some more stuff. I know they're watching their videos, keeping up with them. They're distilling now, so I can't even imagine the type of juice they're going to be putting out. Let's put a little bit of water into it, just for the sake of science. Since it is kind of a high ABV, I'm going to put like 10 drops. So I've got this glass dropper. Got distilled water inside of it. So we'll let that sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, a little bit more, 10-15 minutes. So it's had a chance to open up, mingle, so on and so forth. While I was waiting, I went ahead and checked out the website again just to verify, and they still have chapter 3 available, so I think I may have to just go pick that up just so I can say I have it. So here we go. We got some water in there. Again, I put 10 drops in there. See if it did anything to the nose, to the taste. Didn't change the color, didn't change the viscosity. Still a beautiful whiskey. So let's check this out. Okay, so it tamed the ABV a little bit. So again, it wasn't burning before, but now it's really, I mean, you can stick your nose in there and just basically inhale this and there's no burn. That's pretty awesome. As far as the what I'm smelling, that really hasn't changed for me. It's not sweet. You get a little sweetness, but it's not like some bourbons where you smell it and it's like you just stuck your face into a bag of candy or something like that. It's definitely not that. Still got the hints of caramel and brown sugar. The dustiness went away, so that I guess that is a change. Let's taste it. Didn't tame the burn down much, but again, that doesn't bother me. You get a not as harsh a burn coming through the nose, but when you swallow it, it didn't change the finish. It's still medium to long finish. This is, for me, I like it. Again, these are all my opinions, so take that with a grain of salt. Just because I love it doesn't mean that everybody else will love it. But if you enjoy bourbon, I really think you'll enjoy this. I picked it up for it was $50 at the Crowded Barrel or the Fang and Feather, and it's also $50 on their website. So it's not a bad price. I think it's worth it. You also get a cool little coin on the bottle, which when it's empty, I still haven't decided if I'm just going to save the whole bottle or maybe just take the coin off and keep the coin. But yeah, this is delicious. If you're ever in Texas, I feel lucky because I've been in Texas for a long time. I did not realize there were so many distilleries in Texas, whiskey distilleries. There's also other distilleries, gin and things like that, which I'm not so much into. But I did not know there were that many whiskey distilleries. So I've been to a few of them, 3 or 4, and I'm hoping that I get a chance to visit them all. They're anywhere from 53 miles away to 230 miles away from me. So some will be day trips, some will be weekend trips, but they'll be amazing trips. Get to taste some good Texas whiskey. So pretty much my journey right now in my whiskey journey is majority Texas whiskeys. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm gonna support our local distilleries. But you'll see me doing some videos on some other stuff. I've got other things in my collection, some scotches and some Kentucky bourbons and some rye, which I really enjoy rye. So, all right. So for this one, I'm going to end this one kind of a little copycat. So here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking And if you fight, may you fight for a friend. If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart. And if you drink, may you drink with us.